Biggie Smalls is the reason why Diddy Kong isn't in Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza. Maybe. What's poppin', y'all? It's Michael, and this is Go Play Hero. So people are kind of freaking out right now about Diddy Kong being missing from both Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza, and yeah, it's kind of a bummer, I'm not gonna lie. Starting with Mario Kart, this isn't totally unheard of. Diddy wasn't even in Mario Kart 8 at launch, like we just literally got this bro last year. It took a whole decade after the original release for him to show up, and while he is around in the Mario spin-offs fairly often, it's not always a guarantee. Like, he's not the kind of locked-in status of Waluigi or something, but, you know, Daisy wasn't in Strikers at launch either, so who knows what they're cooking over there nowadays. So yeah, it sucks, especially when we got characters like Fishbone making an appearance. Like, I know everyone's getting on, like, the Pianta. I'm down with Pianta and Cow, but Fishbone, it's kind of egregious. Like, throw my boy Jimmy T in there, you know? Diddy's iconic. He's a fan favorite. He's literally got the brand logo on his hat. It'd be a major L if we gotta wait another 10 years plus for him to show up again. That said, I highly doubt they've revealed every single character yet, so we'll just have to wait and see. And even if he's not in the base game, I'm sure he'll be DLC at some point, just hopefully not in a, decade. But now, Donkey Kong Bonanza, that's a bit more concerning and weird. Diddy's been a core character in the Donkey Kong games since Donkey Kong Country, which was his debut. So not seeing him in the first trailer, yeah, it's gonna raise some eyebrows. Still, we gotta remember, we didn't see Cranky Kong in that trailer either, but he did pop up later during the Treehouse Live, and people who were at the preview events got a shot of Rambi name dropped and icon dropped. Even with the big aesthetic shift that this game's taken with DK, Nintendo seems to be still respecting the Rare legacy. So that's probably not the issue, could just be saving Diddy for a later reveal, and honestly, with Diddy's history, plus his appearance in the Mario movie and the theme parks, it's hard to believe they would just scrap this little dude, right? Here's the thing though. Some people are understandably speculating that Nintendo might be holding off on Diddy Kong, possibly even indefinitely, because of the real life Diddy. Yeah, that Diddy, the diddler, young baby oil himself, the rapper. Y'all already know the whole situation with him. We're not gonna be getting into all that here. If you don't know, go Google, you'll find a plethora of insane information. But some folks think that connection might be why Nintendo's being extra cautious, and it's possible, but I think this might actually go deeper. So a little bit of a hip-hop history lesson for those who weren't around in the 1900s, or I don't know, just don't listen to hip-hop for whatever reason. Diddy, the rapper, used to go by Puff Daddy, or Puff, or Puffy for short. He discovered Biggie, signed him to his label Bad Boy Records, and helped launch him into legend status. Then Biggie was shot, he passed, and Puff changed his name to P. Diddy, partly for legal reasons, but also to just mark a new era without his right-hand man, Biggie. Eventually, he dropped the P and just went by Diddy, and sometimes he went by his government name, Sean Combs, and sometimes he was Love, then he was going back to Diddy, and then he was Young Baby Oil McGee, okay? Here's the thing though.
Diddy name that Big gave him has now made him the laughing stock of the hip-hop world. Because we know it came from Donkey Kong. I've said this 1,000 times. Donkey Kong Jr. on that video game was Diddy Kong. So Big was calling him a little monkey back then. He just didn't know it. Big knew something. Big had to know something. Because he was laughing when he gave him that name, because Puff was threatening him about his publishing. Puff had owned Big Publishing, and Big wanted his publishing on because he wanted to move on. He was trying to get away from Puff. And Big was like, no, Diddy. No, Diddy. That's how the name was formed.
So yeah, in a recent interview by The Art of Dialogue that dropped in October 2024, former bodyguard Gene Deal claims that Biggie was the one who first called Puff Diddy. Apparently they were having some kind of behind the scenes beef over publishing and whatnot, and Biggie jokingly started calling him Diddy, like as a troll, calling him a tiny monkey sidekick. And yeah, if that's true, it's pretty hilarious. Puff didn't even realize he was being sneak dissed and just ran with the name for the next 30 years. That's insane level trolling. Now, Gene also, gets a little confused in that interview. He mixes up Diddy Kong with Donkey Kong Jr., but honestly, that's a common misconception. Can't really blame him. Only freaks like us keep up with our DK lore, and even then, it doesn't really make sense. So, understandable mistake. Biggie was almost definitely a Nintendo fan. You had that famous bar in Juicy, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, when I was dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this. And in another bar in the song Get Money with Lil' Kim, he talks about playing Nintendo with C's and Nino, referring to Lil C's and Nino Brown, who were part of the Bad Boy label. So Biggie was probably playing Donkey Kong Country back in the day, right? Like, it was one of the biggest games on the Super Nintendo. And yeah, that's where Diddy Kong is originally from. So, allegedly, Biggie, trolling Puff, calls him Diddy based on Diddy Kong. Puff doesn't know it's a diss and adopts it. Fast forward to October 2024, Gene drops this bomb in an interview that Miyamoto-san's up in his castle like, hold up, Diddy the rapper is named after our boy, Diddy Kong? Maybe they hit pause on using the character for now, given the current circumstances. And again, you might be thinking, well, Diddy was in the Mario movies and Mario Kart 8 booster packs, he's in the theme parks. But again, all of that stuff was released before this interview dropped. It could stand to reason that Nintendo was generally okay with Diddy Kong having the same namesake as P. Diddy, but to potentially learn that the rapper is maybe literally named right after their character Diddy Kong Nintendo, that might be a different story. This new connection only recently became public, so if this theory is legit, it would mean that Biggie jokingly named Puff after Diddy Kong, and that may have caused a ripple effect, an alternate timeline where Nintendo temporarily had to pull Diddy Kong from all of their stuff in 2025 as a 30-year-old ripple effect. But it could all just be a coincidence. None of this might hold any water, and Diddy will show up soon enough in like the next trailer for Donkey Kong or something. Diddy the character will show up, not Diddy the rapper. Only place he's showing up anytime soon is in court. So let me know what y'all think in the comments. Is Nintendo overreacting if this is true? And is this theory just a reach? Am I tripping? Are we tripping? Are we all just kind of looking too deep into things? Or is this actually something that could be going on behind the scenes? Let me know down below, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace and hair grease.